funny thing, because if you're not from that country, you cannot talk about shit about the country, right? I'm from Japan and I'm Japanese, so I can make video about negative things about Japan, right?
Can you or no?
I can do that. I can
You
do
can
that.
do that,
But
yeah.
like foreigners in Japan, I have friends like British YouTuber, let's say, or American YouTuber in Japan. Once they started talking shit about Japan, like people gonna say, oh, then go back to your country and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
right?
like fuck away from this country, go back to your own country.
I think most of the people who's coming to Japan are like anime or food. Let's say if you're American, it's easier if you go to Europe or if you go to like Latin America or something. But it's hard because of the language possible. If you don't speak Japanese, then it's more difficult.
The language barrier.
Yeah, because Japanese people don't speak English.
Yeah.
And
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. How do you say cheers in Japan?
Kanpai.
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 Oh, it's tasty.
It's the best, I think. There is cinnamon also.
That's nice.
Yeah. There is cinnamon also. I drink the whole drink. I was like blabbering at the end of the episode. But how is the Bali experience so far?
Actually, I haven't done anything yet. Like, I arrived 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And yesterday I was in a coffee shop all day to edit my videos. And today we came to Canggu. So we're gonna explore a little bit more. But like, I haven't done anything. Like, actually, I didn't expect Bali to be like more city, you know?
You expect more natural?
Yeah, it's more like rice field, beer and stuff. But actually, like there's lots of buildings, and like street a lot. But so yeah.
I would recommend you guys to go to Cinnamon.
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 It's you can say Sideman, but it's a Cinnamon they call it. Yeah, it's really up above mountains. It used to be Ubud 10 years ago. It's very beautiful. I think it's better for a couple to do it. I'm still trying to find a girl to go. But I would recommend you guys to go for a night at least there, stay there, because it's all coconut trees. Yeah. And the sunrise is so beautiful. I
and
drove.
then you can see the Mount Agung mountain in the morning. It's really beautiful. Like it's like a Mount Fuji. Like
okay.
Yeah, it's like
You'll thank me after for sure.
Yeah, go there. How long does it take from here?
Probably 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. If you take a car, it'll take longer. But if you take your own bike, it'll probably 2 hours. But a car 3 hours, just an hour more.
I'll check it out.
But I think it's a car.
Yeah. Is it a drawback that doing all this recording and cutting, and you come on a vacation, you still has to sit and worry about the editing?
Yeah. What I always do is I do things that I can only do in Japan, right? So like that's filming, right? So when I film in Japan and I edit abroad. That's what I'm always doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing your own, like the video.
Yeah, I do everything. Yeah, I do everything by myself.
Who's recording you? Is that someone?
Tripod like this tripod.
Oh yeah.
So you set it up and just talk.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Interview people.
Yeah.
Something like that.
At first, I used to ask my friends to hold the camera, but like it's shrinking, and like I don't wanna hire the professional, cameraman because it costs a lot, right? And
It's
sometimes
a lot of money.
sometimes in Japan it rains, it's too windy. I cannot film, so when I hire, then it needs to be scheduled, right? So it cannot be spontaneous. So and I didn't really like that, and I started using tripod in there.
So you mostly travel to edit.
Yeah,
It's kind of fun way to do it.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you or no? Like doing
No, for
by
me,
yourself?
like filming is the hardest part.
Really?
Of YouTube for me, yeah.
Okay.
Because you cannot schedule basically because it's random street interviews, right? So sometimes I can film a lot, sometimes I cannot at all. But editing, when it comes to editing, you can control your time, you can control your effort, right? So yeah.
But I personally I don't do editing. We tried in the beginning because when we started in audio, I hated every part of it. Like every time you had to go through and you had to think about your own opinions. And then me and Lee, my friend, we started this podcast together. We used to argue a lot about editing. It's
too stressful.
It's really stressful for me. Sitting and talking to people, I enjoy it. When it comes to editing, I just need to not to worry about it. So I'm like, oh, okay, we need to have an editor. Then we gave the editor, and we gave him the freedom to cut whatever he wants.
Oh,
so
you don't say anything.
No, not
Maybe
not too much.
Telling not like swearing, then you need to cut it.
No, we don't cut fuck or anything. If I say bitch, then we'll cut that. They cut this too. But anything else we never cut because I felt like it's YouTube, right? You're allowed to say everything, your opinions. As long as you're not too putting opinions about Indonesia, you have to be careful about that. But
because of political reasons?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because people here they love their country. I mean, I'm glad they love their country is because it's a beautiful country, of course. But also people doesn't think for themselves sometimes.
So you're not from Indonesia?
No, I was born in India. I grew up in US.
Oh, okay.
So now I kind of live here for last year.
It's funny thing because if you're not from that country, you cannot talk about shit about the country, right? You cannot talk about shit about the country, right?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I'm from Japan and I'm Japanese, so I can make video about negative things about Japan, right?
Can you or no?
I can do that. I can do that. But like foreigners in Japan, I have friends like British YouTuber, let's say, or American YouTuber in Japan. Once they started talking shit about Japan, like people gonna say, "Oh, then go back to your country" and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
right?
like fuck away from this country, go back to your own country.
Yeah. But
Yes, pretty much.
yeah, and especially if you're not from that country, like it's more extreme. So yeah.
What are the negative things about Japan?
What about negative things about Japan exactly?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Really?
When it comes to living, yeah.
What is one of them?
Yeah, like a simple thing.
Like simple things like
working culture for sure.
Working culture?
Yeah, I seem like everyone is stressed. Some people doing something in that.
Yeah. It's funny because Japan is, I would say, developed country, and we got nothing to worry about. Safe, clean, peace, food is good.
Yeah.
But the rate is the highest in the world. You know what I mean?
Really?
Is that really?
Yeah, people say that, and I think it's true. Yeah.
Shit. So how long you need to work if you're working in the office? Like how many hours?
So I just graduated university, and most of my friends are salarymen, right, from university. My friends from university are mostly salarymen. Yeah. So they work Monday to Friday, 8 hours. Yeah. But once I started calling my friends, or let's hang out in the evening, like Saturday night or Sunday night, they're still in the office.
Working is there
Saturday or Sunday,
What
you're working still?
Yeah. And you cannot say no. You can say no technically. There's no rule and stuff like that. But the social pressure, it's crazy.
I thought America has most depression rate.
America?
Yeah.
So it's like America depressed and.
No, it's the same thing. Depression leads to suicide. 100%.
Well, I think it's different reason.
Oh.
Because America has lots of homeless people and
Yeah.
But in Japan, you cannot see homeless people on the street. Not really. Yeah. But I think in Japan, when it comes to depression stuff, I think from other perspective, people think why are you depressed? Because you got house, you got
job.
You got job and
you can eat.
Yeah. You got friends, but I don't know. But in Japan, the social pressure. I would say social pressure is a wild thing.
I think it's the biggest reason for any depression most of the times, right? Social pressure.
Yeah.
Trying to be on your circle, trying to impress everybody else.
Fitting. Yeah. I think there's a saying. There's a saying that the nail that sticks out gets hammered down.
Okay, the nail which sticks out, it will get hammered down. It's because you see in a nail on a road, people put it in because nobody wants to get a flat tire.
Yeah. So if you stand out,
they push you down. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with anything. Yeah. If you're the first one trying to do something new, everybody will not support you. They say you are doing something wrong, and then you get successful. I'm like, oh, I've been telling you you're gonna get successful. Yeah. I see that because I'm trying to do this podcast. From the beginning, people told me, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then recently, I'm getting a little support. I'm like, okay, I see the difference from the beginning of. When you're doing something new and now, in future my parents might support it, so I don't know. So where else you've been traveling? So you traveled Bali, now you're going to Thailand
Hong Kong as well.
Hong Kong. So you just mostly do editing, and what do you like to do when you travel?
I like to talk to locals, people.
Okay, that's a really good thing. Yeah.
That's why I like traveling by myself, traveling alone.
Yeah.
because I went to Australia a few months ago with my friends. Not with my friends. I visit my friends who lives in Australia as a Japanese person, like visiting like working holiday. And so I was hanging out with him all the time, 24/7 in Australia. So I didn't talk to Aussie at all.
Because you don't understand with Aussie language sometimes because they're really like using a slang. They talk really quick, and then it's just really like it's really hard for people to understand Aussie. So that's why
What do you think the most strongest accent?
India.
India?
Yeah, really? when I interview Indian people in Japan, it's English, but it sounds like it's not English. And then, especially, I can tell it's difficult because when I'm editing, when I'm editing, I need to understand what they're saying, right? And
but did you put subtitles?
I don't. But
so
but when I cut, I need to understand which part I need to cut or not, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
Can you understand me?
Yeah.
Can you understand me?
Yeah. But I do.
I mean, he said it.
I can understand right now because there's no like noisy sound, right? But I do street interviews, so sometimes I do in front of big roads and people like talking right before we interview, right? So it's more difficult.
I feel like Scottish.
Scottish.
So I can't even listen to them. Like, shut the fuck up.
Scottish, Irish, probably British. I don't really understand them. Even America, sometimes I don't really understand them. Aussie, I understand.
America, it's a pretty. For me, it's no accent.
But like when you listen to the English by rappers, I cannot understand. Right?
Rappers,
the rappers.
Rappers, when they get interviews, and sometimes I watch, like rap contents, like interviewing stuff, and I cannot understand at all.
Exactly, they're like
because they're mumbling, they're mumbling, the slang, and especially it's not like slang in daily life; it's more like slang in only hip hop, right? So
there's only it's like a slang. Every region has its own slang. Rappers has their own thing.
Japan have a slang too. Like Japan have a slang
in Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay.
a lot.
What is the most fun thing to do in Japan?
Food, I think.
Food.
I think most of the people who's coming to Japan are like anime or food.
Anime.
You watch anime?
Okay.
I'm like really watch anime. Yeah,
really?
I love anime. Yeah.
I really don't like to see anime.
No, because
it just fucks my eyes.
Do you watch anime?
No.
Really?
I mean, I think I don't watch anime compared to other Japanese people as well. Like most of my Japanese friends watch anime. Like even Japanese friends watch anime, but I don't.
You don't.
And then it's funny because I'm the one who makes video in English
weird.
and then sometimes make video about anime. And then I'm the one who don't watch anime.
Like anime is really, really fucking big at the moment.
Yeah.
Like even in Indonesia, like on Netflix, they put like a lot of anime, and then even in US.
I think you're the only person who watches it.
No, because like it's really cool. I think you need to watch one anime, and then when you get addicted.
You need to understand, like that's so much for your eyes. There's so much going on the screen. Like it has to be slow movement for me. It's like
now it's like a lot of fighting anime.
You said there is a One Piece or something?
Yeah. One Piece or something. That's funny.
Naruto. I watched Naruto. You watched Naruto?
Yeah, I mean, I watched when I was a kid, exactly. I watched like most of like super popular anime. I watched when I was a kid, like other Japanese people,
Yes.
But I haven't watched like new anime for like decades. Yeah.
Because I watch your YouTube interviewing people like, do you watch anime? Do you watch anime? And then all the girls is watching anime. Like that's crazy. Even the Blue Lock, something like soccer things, they watch it. I was like, that's fucking sick. I mean,
it's funny because every time I ask people, either foreigners or Japanese on the street in Japan, like when I ask, do you watch anime? Even they say they don't.
And they watch.
They probably do.
I say I don't watch anime, but I watch Naruto, One Piece. It's almost impossible to not watch any anime in Japan.
Wow. I think it's kind of like it's not cool anymore. Maybe that's why they don't like to give the opinion. I watch it.
Really?
No, I'm just saying.
But I think it's actually the opposite, like in 10 years ago, kids get bullied because they watch anime. But now, 2023, if you don't watch anime, you can have a conversation with, with a classmate, you know what I mean?
Not like all the way around.
Yeah, all the way around.
You get like I get bullied a lot when I was a kid because I watch anime because they think it's like weird and nerd, you know. But now, like, if you not watch anime, you sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
that's
there's.
that's a thing.
I'm not friend with you.
I mean, if you guys want to really know about Japan, I think you should watch this guy. I mean, it's. I think you'll know basic knowledge about Japan for sure watching the video.
Thank you.
I saw you asking people about dating in Japan for foreigners. How is that?
Yeah, how's the dating then? Dating
For foreigners?
Yeah.
From what I've heard, you know, because I'm not foreigner, so I cannot say. But like from my friends, from my.
I mean, she's foreign, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's local love, like foreigner girl.
Yeah, but she's not in Japan. She used to, but like.
Yeah.
But anyway, so thing is, I think it's hard compared to other countries. Like, let's say if you're American, it's easier if you go to Europe or if you go to like Latin America or something.
Yeah.
But it's hard because of the language, first of all.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't speak Japanese, then it's more difficult.
The language barrier.
Yeah, because Japanese people don't speak English.
I heard that.
Really?
Why? Yeah, they don't really speak English that much.
What's the percentage?
I think less than 5.
Less than 5.
Like.
So it's hard to survive in Japan then. It's hard to survive as a tourist.
Yeah, but in Tokyo it's easy because everything's English.
Everything
English. But once you get out of Tokyo, then no.
Kyoto? What about Kyoto?
Oh, Kyoto, yeah. But I mean, as long as it's tourist place destination, then it's fine. But
everyone speaks English, but basic English, right?
Yeah.
Not like a fluently.
Yeah, true. But I think as long as you're just traveling, then there's no problem. As long as you just staying for a month or something, it's fine. But once you start living there, you need to find a place to live. You need to find a job. And if you want to make local friends, then
you have to speak Japan, like.
Yeah. Technically, in Tokyo and rest of the other cities, it's totally different. Like Tokyo, like you don't need to speak Japanese, and because there are so many Japanese people speak English like me in Tokyo.
That's cool. Yeah.
So yeah, it's fine. But
why do you think local people not willing to speak English?
Yeah.
This is all the people say that, and I agree with this. I think because of education. Because we learn English for over 10 years, from 8 years old or 9 years old until until graduation of high school, so basically like 10 years or something. And then we learn, from alphabet and actually, like reading like really difficult, like specific, let's say scientific, long sentences. We can read, but we don't have any practice. We don't do any practice of conversation and stuff. So
it's you need to have people to practice with to do that.
I think Japanese people are really good at reading and writing because that's what I always do for 10 years. But but when it comes to speaking and listening,
But I heard one of the video you did with the little kids, 2 of the kids.
They speak really good English.
Yeah,
and
they're cool. They're
reading like a book, like from.
No, they learn from the videos. They learn gaming, and they also learn from the movies. So cool. That's what they said. But is it something which is not gonna help for older adults?
I think because of the exam system, university exam system, like for now, there's no, you don't need to have skill of, speaking or listening to enter good university, right? And the point is that why Japanese people study in high school or junior high school, most of the time it's for university. Once you get in good university, you can have a good life. That's the thing in Japan. So, if there's no point of like speaking or listening to enter good university, then you don't do that, right? Because it's such a waste of time. And in Japan, you don't need to get out of the country. In Japan has like 100 million population and big market. So basically, you don't need to get out of the country to make money.
Okay.
So that means you don't need to speak.
And then it's good money too, like a good salary to work in Japan or no?
If you live in Japan, then it's fine.
Okay, if you get out and want to travel, then it's good.
You can save money to go travel.
You cannot save that money, but you can live like comfortable life.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think the reason why Japanese people don't speak English is one of the reasons is it's not necessary.
You don't need to go out to work, so you just like stay in Japan.
Yeah, and then if you can stay in Japan, you don't need to speak the language, right?
So that means people, Japanese people allowed to travel or doesn't allow to travel?
No. One thing I found recently is Japan has one of the most strongest passport in the world.
It is. I believe that. Yeah.
And the thing is, less than 20% of Japanese people have their own passport.
Less than 20%, huh?
Yeah, that means 80%.
They don't have passport.
80% they don't have passport. Yeah. That means they don't have
like to travel.
They don't have experience of travel, or they don't have experience of living abroad, right?
Yeah.
It's funny, even though it's one of the strongest, but like only 20% have it.
How is the tourism to Japan? I heard like a lot of the rich people go to Japan.
Oh yeah, it's in Tokyo. There's so many super expensive, super luxury hotels, and it costs like $2,000 or something per one night.
Yeah.
But like it's fully booked every single day. Yeah. I think Japan is gonna be like Thailand. I think Thailand economic is really rely on tourism. That's why they opened, during the COVID first. They opened, and Japan is gonna be like that.
Really, you think
Japanese yen is super weak, and the population is like rapidly declining.
So I heard the population in Japan is really bad at the moment.
Yeah,
birth rate.
People want to like child free, doesn't want to have kids, and why is it like that? Maybe because they're expensive for like education.
Yeah, like, it's expensive. One of the reasons is money, and other reason it's not about Japan, but just in general. I think now it's 2023 compared to like let's say 1980s or 1970s. We don't need to marry someone to enjoy the life anymore.
Yeah.
But let's say 50 years ago, that's the only thing to enjoy the life. Like have a good family, have good kids. But
but
now we can travel. We have
child free.
What?
One day, if you get married, do you want to have kids or no?
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't have the opinion on having kids yet.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 30.
What about you? Do you want to have kids one day?
One day, but not in my 20s for sure.
But like you want to have like a family.
One day.
So you just graduated at 21?
20. Now I'm 23.
23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, you're so young.
Yeah. She's the oldest in the room.
I feel like old right now.
I don't even know how old you are.
So you're from Indonesia, Bali?
I'm Indonesian. Yeah, I'm from Bali.
Oh.
But I was living in Australia for like a couple of years. So yeah.
I've heard so many Australians in Bali.
Yeah.
So many, like even the locals talk like Australian.
Australians are because it's right there.
It's
just
really close.
It's
like for flight. It depends. If you go to Western Australia, it's only like 3 hours flight. But then if you go to Sydney or Melbourne, probably like 6 hours. So it's not that far. Yeah. There's a lot of Aussies coming here.
So Bali, for Australian, Bali is like Hawaii for Americans.
Yeah, I think
like
so. Yeah. I mean, and also, but Hawaii is very expensive compared to Bali.
Oh yeah,
is it expensive?
It's really expensive. I mean, I want to stay for 2 nights. It cost me $4,000.
Well, it depends what you're doing. What are you doing for 4,000?
To stay is mainly costly. Really? It's to buy land in Hawaii is very expensive. Jeez. It's becoming Bali. Bali is getting very expensive too.
It's really expensive.
It's getting really expensive. People who have land here are now getting rich because people traveling here most of the time, digital nomads, and people buying land here to build villas and
not buying anymore. They rented. They rented the land. Balinese is not really selling
they lease the land for you.
Before you can buy land, but now I'm like, you just rent it.
So but still, it's expensive to lease it.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it's gonna go. But it's expensive. How did you learn English?
Yeah, how did you learn English?
In university, I studied English and American literature.
Okay.
So everything was in English.
So your major was English literature. Okay.
Yes. So my professor, they were English speaking people, and I still don't know if they speak Japanese or not because we never speak in Japanese.
So when you like in college, just English, 100% speak English.
Not 100%, but like most of them. I wrote final thesis, I wrote, and everything was in English. Yeah, and I was supposed to study abroad in Los Angeles, 2020, but because of COVID happens,
COVID. Yeah,
and I couldn't make it, and now I'm traveling. That's why I'm traveling more. My desire,
When did you start content creation then?
A year and a half ago.
Okay, so because you didn't go to Los Angeles, so now you became content creator. Are you happy that you became content creator, that you didn't go to Los Angeles and live there?
I'm very happy. But sometimes I still wonder like
what would have became if you went to Los Angeles?
And then you know, like I really wanted to go to Los Angeles because everything, like the reason I studied English was, you know, like I just wanted to go America.
Yeah,
you know,
movies.
because like I think the thing is,
like, stuck in Japan.
like many people want to come to Japan because they watch anime, right?
Yeah.
And,
yes, that's right.
And I wanted to go to America because I watch Hollywood movies and stuff. That's why
Hollywood movies. You like a
yeah. That's why specifically it was Los Angeles. I wanted to go to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I went to US is the same reason, watching movies.
Oh, really?
As a kid, yeah.
Where you used to live in America?
I lived everywhere. I majored in California. Then I moved to do job in Florida. Then I moved to do another job in Columbus, Ohio. I lived there for like 6 years. Columbus, Ohio. 6 years. And lastly, I have a place in Texas. So,
Texas?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I was everywhere, yeah. But yeah, I mean, everybody moved to US is the dream of Hollywood movies.
I mean, like your dream was watching, what is it, Hollywood movie?
Yeah,
like,
as a kid,
what
I used to
watching. I mean, you can go to cinema.
Okay, to be to be on the camera, we're on the camera. The reason is the first girls. And one of the main reasons I used to watch Hollywood movies is to it has to be nude scene clip coming in, so I just skip it and watch it. You know?
Oh, so you want to watching how people like movie production, or you just want to watching a movie like in cinema, or like what is?
No, I watch it at home, and like it's just I watch Hollywood movies, and I was like, oh, I need to go to because I always wanted to be different, so I related with these movies.
Oh.
So that's when I'm like, okay, I need to go do education in US and see what happens. So I went to US and left recently. So I haven't left the country in like 12 years.
Oh, so you were staying in America for 12 years?
Yeah, I
You're
never
pretty much
left.
local
Wow.
there.
I haven't left yet.
Wow.
Yeah. So the first time I left, I came to Bali, and I'm here for over a year now. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. But,
everyone is always stuck in Bali. If you like Bali, like just like staying for a month, and then you will like keep extending again.
So your reason to come to Bali is to travel or to see her?
Both. Because I'm gonna go to Hong Kong, Bangkok as well, so it's part of the trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just editing and now.
Just editing, going to gym.
So what's the future plan with content creation?
So for now, I'm stick with YouTube. I wanna make video as long as I can get views. And the thing is, this is a funny part of being YouTuber. You need to worry about yourself, but the secondly, you need to worry about the industry as well. Okay, let's say if you're a model, you don't need to worry about how model industry gonna be like, because model is gonna be model or actors. I think in 10 years, in 20 years, they still exist. But YouTuber, you don't know, if YouTubers are gonna exist in 10 years.
I think YouTube becoming a popular more than this Netflix and all the industries, because everybody with the Hollywood, and they're making their own directors, they direct it and you put it into Netflix and HBO Max or whatever. Yeah. But with the YouTube, everybody can be a creator.
Everybody can do whatever they want. Like with another just like I love anime, so I just type it anime and then it's coming. Like, but on Netflix or Disney, something like that, you can't, like as.
Even Mr. Beast says that it's the future for us is YouTube, because anybody can direct a horror movie and post it there,
Yeah, what I really like about YouTube is you don't need to make connection with, rich people. You don't need to make, okay, let's say if you want to make video about movies, you don't need to connect with movie industries people, right? Yeah. You can do just whatever you want by yourself, right? And that's what I'm doing, right? And because there's so many Japanese celebrities started making video on YouTube, and because you don't need to be in an agency or you don't need to worry about anything. You can do whatever you want, right?
Exactly.
And
that's what I like about
less
YouTube.
expensive. You just like do it. You need a camera and you just talk and you put it in there. It's just
But I think it's hard for the start. I mean, for looking for subscribers. And
he said 1.5 years is 1 million YouTube followers.
For me, it was a little bit different because there was at the time, like 2021 or around the time, like when I started YouTube, there was no one as a Japanese person making video in English.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I was the first one, but I was a very one of the first one. Yeah. Now there's so many people, Japanese people started making video in English because they watch my videos. And if you see my channel, you can tell, okay, this is the genre you gotta stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we started 8 months ago. I mean, we're not that big. We're hitting 3,000. It's like to get million, it's gonna be 10 years
so
for us.
You get like 1 million. I mean, like, fuck, that's quick.
But shorts video helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody see what do you think about people's attention span? People can't able to watch 10-second video anymore.
I don't really like it because I'm the one who likes movie a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm the one who likes the content. Taking like to watch like 2 hours or something, right? But at the same time, I cannot make any excuse because I'm the one who's kind of TikTok addicted.
It's like
I'm the one. So, for me, the reason why I still do interviews is if you make long video for interviews, you can clip or like podcast. You can make clip. You don't need to make You don't need to make new contents only for shorts, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to do that. So, yeah, but I don't really like that trend that people only watch like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But it's inevitable and it's impossible to change the trend at the same time. So I don't know. But I personally prefer making and watching longer contents.
Yeah.
Because you can learn something. For me, like when I scroll up TikTok, sometimes you can learn something, but like most of the time it's just time consuming and then you just lose your energy. But if you watch like 20 minutes or half an hour YouTube video, you can learn a lot. But it depends on the contents, but you can a lot.
Yeah, because our longer videos was one of the 2.5 hours. One video. We had to split it in part 1, part 2. Then I realized you should not do part 1, part 2. Nobody watches part 2.
Really?
Because nobody finishes the part 1 first because the duration, attention span is very less these days. And people are only, like they watch 30 minutes and they got to do something else and move on from the video. So I'm trying to figure out how to hold the audience all of the an hour or 2 hours. It's because it's hard to understand audience also. Even me, I don't even know myself what do I like to watch all the time. Like sometimes I watch 10 seconds, sometimes I like to watch 2 hours, sometimes I don't like to watch anything. So it just, I think people are uncertain about what they want to watch these days.
Oh, that's interesting. That's true. Because they just watch something the YouTube recommend.
Yeah.
Right? They just watch something the TikTok recommend.
Yeah.
Right? So
I think it depends like what you're searching. Just like podcasts and then
it's very rare. For me, I'm very rarely go on YouTube and search something I want to watch. I go on to YouTube, I see that something interesting, then I click it.
Yeah. Same for me. Like when I watch YouTube, just subscription feed and just recommended feed. That's the two thing that I always watch.
I think that's one of the reason. I think people. I used to search something about. I need to learn about this. Let me search and do that. Nowadays, no, because for everything they're creating a different website and like what is that? There is a website for you to learn everything. So you subscribe to it and you can search and learn anything like Java or whatever if you want to learn languages. If you want to learn some Skillshare. Skillshare. You can go in there, you can learn about everything. So these days, everybody has their own website to build something and put it out there.
Yeah.
So even OnlyFans.
I think, the OnlyFans in Japan, there's no OnlyFans in Japan.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
What about porn? What about porn?
Yesterday she was sitting there. What should I ask? And she's like, okay, can I talk about porn? I'm like, why do you want to talk about porn? It's common everywhere. And she's like, because for Indonesians, it's not allowed. It's illegal.
Porn is illegal in Indonesia.
You cannot watch.
No, it's not.
You can, but with VPN. I need to use VPN to watch porn. But But what about in Japan? It's legal, yeah?
No, it's okay. So it's technically it's not illegal.
Okay.
It's not illegal at all. It's not illegal at all. Like even porn star, sometimes they show up on TV or something. So it's actually like mainstream.
It's illegal in Japan.
It's illegal, but like the reason the differences between like Japanese porn and other countries' porno is like there's a mosaic.
They've covered it up.
Yeah, covered it up.
Yeah, mask.
For the okay. The cover. They're not like fully naked.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
illegal. Yeah, that's illegal. Yeah.
Oh, that's illegal if you're not blurry.
So what's the point? Imagination.
That's why I don't know if you can use this part, but like the reason why in Japan, like for girls, like expression is famous. It's popular in Japan. The thing is, if you cannot see the thing, they splash, so you can imagine more, right?
That sucks.
Oh, so it's like educational for you, huh? It's weird.
Wow. It's a lot of girls to do like in the porn industry in Japan.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I think so, but like even like like porn star on Instagram, they got like million followers.
Shit.
Like American porn star, like they're famous.
See, I mean,
right?
these days, beauty has more followers.
True.
Any girl who has really beautiful, you can get as many followers you want.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think Japanese porn star, like they're famous for. They are famous in China, or they're famous in
they're famous everywhere.
Asian countries.
Indonesia.
So
No, I mean like it's really funny about the porn star from Japan. It's like they have really innocent face, kawaii face, like cute face, but then have a big tits, big butt. I was like, oh my god, like that's sick.
This one loves to watch.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like it's so like it's funny, like doing that. Because like from the face, they not look like a like something like US porn star, but like in Japan, so yeah, they're like really cute, but then it's just really like porn star. I was like, how can you do that?
Okay, let's move on from this.
Even in anime, they're trying to make the
like
anime
innocent,
is like oh my god, that's fucking funny.
You're so feeling bad that you don't have big ones, so that
no, because it's anime now is not for the kids anymore. Like they're from like teenager, even like they try to make it like really perfect body, even like
I think that's one thing I don't like. It's like having too perfection. People like the reason people only attracted to perfection these days is the movies also like. They show the beautiful girl in there, and you only attracted to the beautiful
standard,
girl.
like
now you see a different than that, and you're like, oh, that girl is not good. It's not my type.
Yeah, I think some anime like very sexualized women. I think.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's a good thing, but like I don't know.
It's not.
it's not.
Imagine like if the kids watching them. I mean, like the imagination of the anime with the crazy like. Really opening up big.
Why do you watch anime for a look at a girl? Huh? Why don't you just go?
But like all the anime always like that right now. They're trying to make like the animation look really, really like hot with like with a colorful hair and like even their talk like really like sexy talk something like that. So
but funny because the thing is in Japan like Japanese people have like thin bodies basically
thin?
like like
the beauty standard is to be like skinny.
They're not overweight.
Yeah. I think if I ask my Japanese female friends, if I ask them like, do you want big butt?
Yeah.
Then they will say no. Cause
what? So maybe like skinny.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's preferable to have like thin thigh.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I think like when it comes to boobs, like I think the like I think everybody wants to have big boobs, but like when it comes to like like butt.
But
that's the difference between Japan to Western world.
Yeah, for
Western
sure,
world likes to have big butt and like small tits.
Yeah. And even if I ask my Japanese guy friends, like they prefer like small butt. I think.
Oh really?
Skinny.
Yeah, skinny but big boobs. But it's impossible, right?
Get good jobs.
But like the body like Kim Kardashian, like it's not.
That's not real.
It's totally different. Yeah.
Totally different in Japan.
I think if Japanese people see her, I think they think she's fat. Yeah, just fat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite country that you've been so far?
That's difficult question. In what sense?
Like, I mean, beautiful. Like, which you love to live in if you want, if you can.
Okay, so
don't say America.
I was about to say that.
I know.
Okay, but like Thailand for sure.
Okay.
I like Thailand because, but
it's legal there.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So something became legal recently, and Thailand is really good country for tourists.
Okay.
Everything is cheap still. Like it's
is it cheaper than Bali? I've never been to Thailand.
The transport I feel a little expensive. Everything else is okay.
Yeah,
Food
rent.
is okay,
Rent.
Yeah,
is
food is
fine.
rent.
What about
and
the
like,
coffee?
okay.
Good.
I think
mean,
so. I don't know.
coffee, I don't know. I didn't drink coffee. I was focused on something else.
Yeah. but Thailand is the only country for me to have visit multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go to Thailand as well. And I think the reason I say I like Thailand is I have friends there.
Okay.
You know, I have people that I can hang out all the time. You know, but I don't like the weather. You know, it's so humid.
Oh,
It's
Is that
really-
same
in
like
Japan,
Bali?
it gets cold.
Japan is
yeah,
cold.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I didn't know that. Yeah.
It gets cold, but in Japan, the uncomfortable season is only like June, July, August because it's too hot, it's too humid, and it's also rainy season.
Okay.
But in Thailand, like June in Japan, like it's half a year in Thailand. You know what I mean? So it's pretty uncomfortable. Like, but like, and I like Australia as well. When I went to Sydney, I would say not that exciting for visitors.
Yeah.
Not exciting. Not like really good, like good nightlife. I don't think
It's good.
it's that crazy compared to Bangkok, let's say, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But I can imagine myself to settle down in Sydney because you know it's so cozy, it's so chill, it's so safe and
Yeah.
peace. I think Australia is like Western country like Japan, you know.
Okay.
It's so nice in Australia.
Yeah, but I think it's really
I need to
strict.
go to
I
Australia.
think it's really strict
It
with.
depends where you go though.
Oh,
Because
I just went to Sydney.
Oh,
I just
you
went-
in Sydney, yeah. Maybe you should go to, we call it Sunshine Coast in Brisbane. It's like I said, at the beach. It's so beautiful, and then it's not that cold. Like it's so nice up there for the summer, and the beach is really beautiful. So
It's
called
like-
Gold Coast, maybe Gold Coast. Have you heard about Gold Coast?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool too.
It's right next to Melbourne, right? Is it?
What is Melbourne?
I see. Don't
It's
ask
like-
me about geography.
I don't know.
It's super expensive.
It's so expensive. Everything's so expensive. Even just say it's really hard to go anywhere because you need a car, and even the food. If you're going out for the food, maybe at least $25 or $30 for just one meal and with the drinks.
And
So that's why everyone is cooking at home because they want to
yeah.
save money.
But
So.
I've heard when it comes to taxes, it's pretty strict with immigrants, right? Is that true?
The taxes.
You need to pay more if you're an immigrant.
Probably,
Yeah.
Right.
Uber things.
Yeah. So, what would you say the differences between Japan and Indonesia so far you've seen?
Oh, for sure. One of the reason I say that, for sure, I think, because Indonesia is religious country, right?
Religious country.
And Japan
yeah.
is not. So you know.
Oh, I thought Japan is religious too.
I don't know. It's always confusing, and I consider myself not religious,
No,
but
you're not
no,
religious. What
no.
about your parents?
I don't know. It's funny because we celebrate Christmas. We enjoy Halloween, but when we die, we ask monk, to do stuff, right?
It's completely different.
Yeah.
But is it only religion? Anything else?
And I've never been to Jakarta, so I cannot say. But Bali and Japan. I mean, it depends if you compare to Tokyo, or if you compare to rest of the city in Japan. If you compare to Tokyo and Bali, let's say city and very nature vibe here, right?
Yeah.
And Tokyo is people are cold, I think, and people say that that they are cold in Tokyo, and I agree. People mind their own business,
Yeah.
You cannot talk to people on
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't have any neighbor friends,
Really? Here,
yeah.
people is very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Here,
the difference.
People
That's it.
just want to say hi.
But
hello.
maybe it's not about Japan and Indonesia. Maybe it's more about city and countryside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
What about people in countryside, in a village in Japan? They still say hello to you, or they?
I think it's more likely to be like that because it's impossible. It's almost inevitable not interacting with neighbor if you live in countryside, right? But okay, so I'm not from Tokyo. I'm from Nagoya, which is
Nagoya.
It's
Nagoya.
a little
Nagoya.
far away from Tokyo,
I
right?
heard about
Yeah, a
it,
little bit far away,
Yeah.
and it's not countryside, but it's not the
It's
big
like-
city either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why I got up with the city is there are certain things that you cannot do in Nagoya, but I could do in Tokyo.
Yeah.
The thing is okay, social. Okay, this is social pressure as well. But
Yeah. Okay.
if you are in Tokyo,
Okay.
it's so busy. There's so
Yeah.
many people.
Yeah.
So that means maybe you don't need to care about other people
Okay.
at all. But in Nagoya, it's a little bit suburb, so
Okay.
people know each other. So if you
Okay.
wanna do new things, like
people will.
You cannot help thinking about other people because they know, you know. But in Tokyo, nobody knows, you know, like, you know,
people
like,
doesn't care.
yeah, because it's too busy, like, yeah. So, and if you wanna start new things, you need to come to Tokyo. And one of the reasons I like Tokyo is rent as well.
Okay.
Renting in Tokyo and other cities in Japan, not much big difference compared to New York or countryside in America.
Oh, really?
You know, I
How
think
much for like? Do you pay monthly to rent?
Yeah.
How much you like? Or like
yen. Wait, let me calculate.
30 million.
$1,000.
Oh, $1,000, yeah?
Yeah. Around
for a month.
Yeah.
Not that
That's not
expensive.
And it's really good place. It's right next to Shibuya. I can walk to Shibuya crossing within like 10 minutes or something. And I have my own kitchen. I have my own, you know, bathroom.
That's
so yeah.
not bad, is it? I thought it was like 30 million.
Here is cost same if you rent a villa.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I live in villa.
She's a rich person here. What do you want to do other than this content creation with yourself? Like, what do you want to become?
In the business wise, I want to have my own company, help foreigners come to Japan or help when come whether traveling or living.
Yeah.
You know, I know how hard it is for foreigners to rent a house in Japan.
Yeah.
I know how hard it is to learn the language. You know, I know how hard it is to find a job in Japan except English teaching or, you know, engineer or something like that.
Yeah. I think you're doing a really good job promoting Japan. I would love to see all the other countries
going
has
Japan
their
next
own
year.
promoters, you know.
Oh, you're gonna come? Is it first time?
Pardon?
First time?
First time.
Oh, damn.
I think I'm
Maybe
gonna
you
go.
need to show her around.
I think I'm gonna go on March. Is it good?
Perfect.
February or
Perfect.
March.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because you can see cherry blossom, you know. Yeah.
Was it
Sakura.
flower?
Sakura, cherry blossom.
Yeah.
The flower.
Okay. Can't
Okay.
wait.
Really, thank you for taking time
thank you
to
so
come
much.
Thank
here.
you so much for coming.
And thank you for
Can you take
being
a picture?
co-host. And anything you want to say?
Instagram, YouTube.
Takashii from Japan, Instagram, YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you wanna come to Japan, if you watch anime or if you're interested in Japanese culture, please.
Yeah,
check my channel.
please. If you really want to learn about Japan a little bit,
Yeah.
watch him. You will know a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Really, thank you for
Thank you
being
so
here.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Arigato.
Arigato.
Oh, I wanna learn one word
One word.
in
Indonesia.
Indonesian. But is there any like specific language in Bali?
So
Okay.
we
You
have
want to learn a bad word or you want to
You want to learn bad?
Bad one.
Okay, one bad word. Bangsat.
Bansat.
Yeah.
Bansat.
Fucker.
Bansat.
Bangsat.
Bansat.
Yeah, fucker.
Fuck you. You can. What about Japan? Baka?
Baka like stupid.
Baka is stupid. Okay.
Yeah. If you want to learn
Bakayaro?
Oh, from anime?
Yeah, I almost learned from that anyway. I can speak Japanese, so like, watashi wa Gwen desu. Changu kara kimashita. Doso yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Oh.
And
That's enough to survive in Japan.
That's a lot.
It's just a basic things like that. So yeah.
What does that mean?
It means like my name is Gwen. I'm from Changu, and then nice to meet you. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, something like that.
It's like Dimana is like where you from here. Dimana, where you from? And Darimana.
It's too long for it.
Japan. Or like
how do you say Japan in
Japan.
Japan? Same?
Japan.
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 No, so like Japan, so like Japan.
Japan. I'm so bad at this.
Japan,
Okay.
bang.
You-
Like pang, like Japan.
Pang.
Yeah.
You say good, bagus.
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 Bagus, yeah, good.
Good.
If anybody asks you apa kabar
How are
means
you?
how are you?
Apa kabar?
Yeah, bagus.
Bagus.
Yeah.
What-
Or baik.
Baik.
It's like a genki desu ka, genki desu, something like that.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, we learned a little bit of
I don't know, cause like I watch anime like every night. I'm watching them, so I pick like the words like Japan to say like baka, konnichiwa, sugoi, something like that. You know, like kawaii. So,
Are there Japanese people here? in
Oh,
Bali?
there is a
I
little
never
bit,
seen
not
yet.
too much. There is
Not many.
Koreans, but
maybe Chinese?
less Asians. Chinese a little
Chinese.
bit, yeah.
Korean.
But Japanese, I met couple, but that's it. Yeah. I think you're the first person I was talking to. Actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Same.
Good to be the first one though.
So yeah, it's not many Japanese people to come to Bali.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this week. How do you say see you next week in Japan?
See you. じゃあまた来週。
Sampai jumpa minggu depan.
Sampai jumpa.
Thank you. Please subscribe him and
Thank you so
please
much.
subscribe us too. Give a like and
Follow my
comment,
new
share.
Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Bye.